Thank you, John. It was a great weekend, culminated by a great victory against Catawba in a rival game. The 94th contest between the two schools. So, great day. A lot of former Bears back there, but between the bricks for the 50th anniversary from 1964 to 2014, we've been playing there, and it was good to finish with a hard-fought, hard-earned victory. That was a tricky game for us, having already clinched a playoff berth. There was a lot of distractions for our team, and it was a challenge. Being senior day, families coming in, flying in, driving in from all over, all the trappings of success, and I thought we handled it pretty well. I did not think we played our cleanest game, and defensively or offensively. We've played better than that all season, but you have to tip your hat to Catawba. It was their last game of the season in a rival game, and we got everything they had and then some. So it was good to come out on top, win 27, 26, 21. Good victory for us, good victory, and it's nice to finish that. It's hard to win a football game. It's particularly hard to win a rival game at the end of the season and finish 11-0. There's been a lot of great teams around the country, or good teams, that have a pitfall along the way, or stub their toe, or put up a stinker on some Saturday afternoon, and we can say we did not do that. So to our young men's credit, amazing accomplishment for the young men in our locker room to walk out of this regular season as the only 11-0 regular season team in the history of Lenoir-Rhyne University. So to their credit, and in particular our seniors, to their credit, to walk out of here with 4 straight SAC conference championship rings. That's something that they'll have with them forever, and they can put those in their wherever they're going to put their jewelry, or wherever they're going to put that trophy case up. So pretty special stuff. Pretty special stuff. Throughout the game, there were some excellent performances. I'll start defensively. I thought Chris Green had a dominant game up front defensively. It was the SAC Defensive Player of the Week. Chris has really come on late in the season. We knew he's been good all season, but I think he's been playing great to finish this season. And he's been active. And with Chris and Blake Baker inside, I don't think there's a more formidable 1-2 punch as interior defensive lineman in the country. Special players, and Chris has really come on. And really, him and Blake together are quite a duo inside. Tanner Boss continues to play exceptionally well. Tanner's been a leader for us, a Mike linebacker, obviously, all season. Marcus Kincaid's playing very well at safety in the back end, as is Chris Schaefer. O'Neal Blake has been a stellar performer all season long. Had a huge hit at the game. If y'all were there, you can still probably hear it ringing in your ears. And guys played well. I think our kicking game has really been the unsung story. Our kicking game has been spectacular this season, and last Saturday, that was really pivotal in the football game, particularly at the end of the game in the fourth quarter. We choose the sky punt, and Mikey DeStevens has been, he hasn't punted a lot being our punter this year. We've been moving the ball pretty well offensively. But of his 31 punts this season, he's down 11 inside the 20, which is a phenomenal rate. And he put one last Saturday right there on the 1-yard line. The fourth quarter made them drive a 99-yard field, and they couldn't get it done. So. Again, and Justin Powell, I guess I say he finally missed a field goal, but he was 11 for 12 on the season, and hit some big ones. He was 2 out of 3 last Saturday, and that was big. And our specialists, Coach Shutter has done a tremendous job with, Drayton Queen and Stu Sherrill's our snappers, Hunter Harris our kickoff guy, Justin and Mike. Those guys have been tremendous all season long. Our coverage teams did well. Particularly our kickoff team, Kalen Elkins had a huge hit going down on our kickoff team, and we got some good returns, some positive returns by Mike Patrick in the punt return game and Gerard in the kickoff return game. So that was a bit of the story of the game in my book, was our effectiveness in the kicking game. With our special teams were really a difference. Offensively, some great performances. I start again where we usually leave off, is with Chris Robinson. Chris has had a monster season, the most yards rushing here at Lenoir-Rhyne in the last 20 years in a single season. He's averaging close to 8 yards a carry playing a fullback. Gerard had some great runs as well. Gerard's leading the nation in yards per touch. But one of the things that stood out in that game was our wide receiver play. They've blocked tremendously all season long, as everyone knows. We're rushing for just over 415 yards a game. which is the single highest rushing average in the history of Division II football right now. So we can be able to sustain that. But our receivers, particularly you saw Vic Brown's explosiveness, catching the screen, running by guys on the post route. And you see Grayson Wells had a big-time play on 3rd down. Miles threw him a strike, and that was a big conversion in that game on 3rd and long. So well done. Our offensive line continues to play well. It's a fabulous group up front for us, and they're paving the way. That's why all those yards are happening. Miles came back off his injury, and was a little rusty to begin with. It was a little rough around the edges there in the first half, and we're scratching our head. But I think he settled down a little bit, and there's just no substitute for the speed and the tenacity of game reps. And so that was, I think he settled down and played much better in the second half. And I think that's going to bode well for us, having the bye week now and then getting into the first round, or I should say the second round of the playoffs. But that was a big win against Catawba, because the fact of the matter is that game didn't count just for one win, it counted for 2. It counted for winning that one, and it counted for getting us past the first round of playoffs into the second round with a bye. So that's hard-earned, and that's hard to do. There's only 4 teams in the country that have the privilege of being the 1 seed, obviously. So it's good for us. We're excited about the next step now. We said the first chapter is over, regular season's over, and we did what we set out to do. And now we're looking for more in the second chapter and write another story here going forward. That being said, I'll take any questions regarding this regular season, this past game, or looking forward into chapter 2 and beyond.
Have you scouted Valdosta or UNA yet?
We're aware. We're aware of both teams. It's difficult. We don't get the videos until this week. Now there's some common opponents. We can go back in the archive. Certainly there's UNA video from a year ago in the playoff matchup. So we have a library. I think everyone in the country has a library on somebody, and everyone keeps everything that comes across their I'd say their desk, but it's on their computer nowadays. So we're locked and loaded and have an idea of both opponents, and we're working hard right now. As we speak, it's a challenge to get ready for 2 teams at one time. So we'll be anxious when the dust settles this Saturday when that game concludes to know definitely who we can start embracing as our first round opponent.
Coach, coming into this season, I don't know that there any anticipation you go undefeated. At least you weren't even picked to win the conference. And of course, you're expected to have a good team, but don't know that this good was expected. And I wonder if you could pinpoint anything that really produced, that made a good team into an undefeated team.
Well, I'll deflect that really to say that we inherited a very good returning nucleus. And our senior leadership and the rising juniors as well really embraced us and our coaching staff in some new ways and some new wrinkles immediately. And I think that started January 14th, and it went through winter conditioning and into spring ball, and we could sense something special developing through that whole time. So can you look in the crystal ball and see 11-0? No, but I thought we had a great chance of having a great team, and because we had great people that care a lot, and you could sense right away that no one. There's the old saying, it's amazing what can be accomplished when nobody cares who gets the credit. And that's certainly true with this group. This is a very unselfish football team. And as long as we're stacking W's, there's enough credit for everybody to go around. And it's an unselfish group. There's no short, they're confident, they're poised, they believe in each other, they know how to win. And as I mentioned the other day, winning is contagious. And they like that feeling, and they're used to it. And like I said, I don't know if you could have predicted 11-0, but I thought we had a great chance at winning our conference from the second we stepped down here, and that's been our intention all along. That's what it'll continue to be.
Coach, you have 2 weeks off, and I know there's always some kind of anxiety going into a bye week like this. So can you talk a little bit about what the advantages are of a 2-week hiatus, and then what some of the dangers are of that?
Well, I think the advantage is we have not had a bye week yet this season, so we've been going nonstop since August. So we have a chance to get some guys that are bumped, dinged, bruised, to possibly get some of our guys back to full speed that may have not been at full speed towards the second half of this season. So that's the main thing. Obviously, it gives us a chance, some extra time to prepare for our next opponent. In this case, we're preparing for 2, but it gives an upper hand. And the other thing is, you look at the other side, is those teams playing in the first round against each other, those are going to be physical, tough football games, and it's hard to get through those playoff games unscathed health-wise. So, it's a big deal to have a bye. On the flip side, you're sitting out and scratching your head a little bit, and you're watching stuff on TV, and you're paying attention on the internet, and what all that comes with that. You hopefully some rust doesn't settle in on us. That's why I said our first goal right now is to win the bye week. We need to go out and still have a fabulous practice today and tomorrow. And then, like I said, we'll give our guys a little bit of time off, this weekend, and then we're right back at it. We're in game week, and there's some challenges there with Thanksgiving coming up and practicing and you name it, because there's a lot going on. You got school, you got Thanksgiving, you got guys who want to go home and eat stuffing and pumpkin pie and all that stuff. So. Well, we're excited about it. It's good to be playing at this time of the year. A lot of people like to have our problems.
Coach, playing this time of the year, obviously for you guys and for the fans, is always a treat. Having a week or 2 off sounds like you have a week off of work, but you and your coaching staff still have a lot to do as far as recruiting. Can you just talk a little bit about what recruiting has been like and what it looks like when you start playing this late into the season? Well,
it's a real challenge. Recruiting is always a challenge, and it never stops. I mean, that's the reality of it these days. For one, it's all at your fingertips. Everything's online now. So we have not just hundreds, but thousands of recruits that we're interested in or are interested in us. This last Saturday is a perfect example. We had 70 recruits here for the Catawba game. Well, we can't take 70 recruits, but we had 70 prospects here seeing the Bears play and winning a championship. So that's good for business. That's good for business. So recruiting is going strong. The other thing that that is a challenge for us is we're still playing and coaching and practicing, and other people, everybody else in the country, is going to be on the road recruiting. Because what else are they going to do? Go fishing? So we're still playing. So that's a challenge, and we'll have some coaches on the road as well. On some days here in before we play our next contest, to get out and see our face and show them what a championship ring looks like.
There'll be a potential opponent coming up. I think there are 8 national championships in the region. 7 of them are playing against each other on Saturday. But the positive is, for this week, they kind of run very similar offenses, do a lot of things the same. Their numbers are almost identical from passing and rushing on both sides of the ball. So that gives you an advantage that way, because I would think, because it's not like you're playing a heavy pass team playing against like a Carson Newman or us that's going to run all the time. You've got 2 very different things. How does that help?
Well, they are very, again, we're still evaluating and looking at their personnel, because their personnel is different. You got 2 very competitive teams with great traditions, obviously. You just look at the entire Super Region, our Super Region 2, and we're all playing for it looks to me like the Gulf South Conference Championship, us and Tuskegee and the rest of them. So it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. Whoever we get. Everyone in our region is capable of winning the national championship. That's the reality of it. It's a tough region. It's like if you're equivalent to if Division I had a playoff, you'd be putting the ACC and the SEC in the same region. You know, and so that's what we're staring at. That's the equivalent of Division II. So we got to work cut out for us, but we'll be well prepared, and we'll have a great idea about both opponents, and we're already getting a head start on both. Like I said, there's certainly, I think we're very well prepared. I think our conference is vastly underrated, quite frankly, around the country. And like I said, we have something to prove, and our guys are excited to play, and we'll be anxious to meet whoever shows up here.
Coach, Sunday night you got to go on Fox 46. Talk a little bit about that, and then tell us how LR is coming into getting out of the Hickory, the news, and going down into the Charlotte news and getting some national spotlight. Talk about that on a coach's end and for the players.
Well, sure. Well, you know, I think it certainly is critical for us. I mean, it's not that far. I got in the car and was down to the studio in 48 minutes. I timed it, you know, so it's not that far. You know, it's not like we're, you know, the world's flat and falls off at the city limits of Hickory. You know, so we don't have to have the best kept secret in North Carolina. We don't need to be a secret. We got the winningest football program in the state of North Carolina, right here in Hickory. And Charlotte should be a hotbed of recruiting for us, and we're working hard at that. And people need to know our story, and they deserve to hear our story. And we'll give them something worth talking about. And it's credit to everybody, everybody in this room, all of our fans, all Bear Nation, and the players in our locker room, and our coaching staff. And I got a great coaching staff. So, like I said, there's enough credit to go around when we're all winning, obviously, and it's been quite a success.
Hey, I want to congratulate you on a great year, and adding on to his comments, I know first of the season we had a little meeting and we were looking at the schedule, and I don't know if you put a little star by this 11-0. 11-0 deserves a star in its own, but I know with Virginia State on the road, Newberry on the road, Carson Newman on the road, Wingate at the first of the season was predicted to finish up high. Not only did we have a tough conference, it was a little bit uphill with these 4 road games, and so I just think it was, in addition to being 11-0, it was a great year with the schedule you had. So congratulations.
Well, thank you, John. It was. I think people now are realizing just how hard that schedule was that was put in front of us. Because I think our conference is a phenomenal football conference. There's great coaching in our conference. You know, play Carson Newman on the road and come out victorious isn't easy. Not many people have done that in the past. To beat Virginia State at Virginia State, everyone can see now what type of team I was telling everyone they had, because they're a playoff team too. And their only losses are to Cal PA, who's a great team, and ourselves. So that's a, you know, Coach Scott up there has a heck of a team at Virginia State, you know, and they're still playing. So, and there's talent up and down. We're just in our conference meetings with all the head coaches going over, you know, the all-conference, which will be released tomorrow, I believe. And man, there's just a ton. There's a great deal of talent in our conference, and it didn't come easy, you know, and it's hard work, and there's some good fortune involved, and like I said, I still go back. It's a credit to our seniors, you know, it's credit to the seniors we have and how well they played, and them accepting us and hitting the ground running, you know, and we didn't miss a step. Or if we did, we didn't miss many. All right, well, thank you everyone for coming today. It's been a wonderful regular season, historic, better than you really probably could even dream of, quite frankly. But a special year. Really proud of our team, our coaching staff, our fans, and it was neat to see last Saturday our fans fill up that stadium once again. I looked at the end of the conference who had the best attendance in the South Atlantic Conference, and it's not even close. We more than doubled the next team. So we have tremendous support here, and I know recruits like to see the stands filled and everyone into it, and the players having a ton of fun winning games. So it's been special. It's been a special regular season. Now we're ready to move forward and get to our second season, if you will, and get ready to either Valdosta State or North Alabama here in round 2 of the NCAA playoffs, and we're excited to meet either one of them. Go Bears.